Hey everybody. A few things I need to address here really quick. Number one, I don't care what that says right there. It doesn't make any sense. The temperature is, well, I can't even think. The humidity is like 70%, but I can barely breathe out here. It's rough. So until it calms down, I'm not gonna do a whole lot. Here's where we're at right now. As you can see, I got her turned around. Had to get under there and weld new casters on. That was a big 2-day long fiasco. I got it propped up where I needed it to be, and then I tried to fix the beam that bent by straightening it out. And when I lowered the thing back onto its caster, it fell over again. So I had to sit there and meticulously and methodically jack it back up. And I got everything lined up, got my caster where I wanted it to be, and it was like 9 o'clock at night, and I ran out of welding wire. So I had to wait till the next day, which was yesterday. And it was hot out here yesterday up under that thing, welding that caster. But anyways, that enabled me to get it turned around. I had adjustable casters, the ones that spin on this side, and straight ones on this side, so I had to move it. That was all well and good when the thing was, you know, only 102 inches deep, but now that it's 11 feet long, you know. Anyways, this garage floor has cracks in it. Those cracks, as you know, anything will stop a caster. A toothpick will stop a caster dead in its tracks. And I wanted to get this thing over so we can, you know, so the garage is serviceable as a residential unit, but also doubles as an airplane factory. So I got a good compromise going on here. In doing so, I had to jerk this thing around. Now, this is my baby. I know every infinite detail of her. I knew what was going to go on. This thing's really flimsy. Don't get me wrong. The front is super strong because I've got all the bulkheads and everything in there. But when I got to this point right here, I had to establish the fuselage shape so I could, you know, get a target for the canopy. And I had to get the canopy to get everything finished back here, just to get the lines to make sure my dimensions were correct. And I didn't spend a whole lot of time, you know, really strengthening and fortifying these sides. So as you can see, the slightest little bit of vibration on those aforementioned cracks caused the back of the fuselage to sag down. That's not a big deal. All I got to do is jack it up, which if you pay attention to my earlier videos, you can see various pieces of wood. The flight deck sits exactly 11 3/4 inches off the ground. And I had to remove those pieces of wood in order to spin it around. In doing so, the engineer station collapsed and all that. But that's good. Everything's fine. I'm really discouraged about it because I can't work on it because of the heat or the humidity today. But it's just a matter of a couple of hours getting everything jacked back up and where it needs to be. What I really need is a flight deck floor. I need the entire thing. But, you know, you're talking, you know, 2 pieces of aluminum just for the top, and then another 2 pieces of aluminum for the corrugated material, and then I got to build the beams. So to build that flight deck is going to be, you know, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, say $600 just for the aluminum, and I simply can't afford that. I can't, to be blunt, afford it to build it even out of wood. It's the way it is. I'm a starving artist, as I've mentioned in earlier videos. But once I get the opportunity to get out here and not die, I'll have this thing jacked back up and everything's going to be. But now that that's out of the way, the reason that I moved this was so I have easy accessibility to the bulkhead. Took pictures of her when she was spun around with the bulkhead facing the street, so I can plot and compare exactly where the strengtheners go with the manuals that I have. So that's going to be perfect. And I've also turned this around because once I get these sides done, fully strengthened, and I get the bottoms, they don't even have bottoms. I mean, they're just, it's basically just this long longeron holding things up. But once I get that up in there, I need to see exactly how much weight bulkhead number 3 is going to be able to support. Because right now, it's not cutting it, and I'm afraid the stringers alone are not going to do a good enough job. So as I've been talking about extending the fuselage out, I may just go ahead and extend it out to 4.0, which would be the end of the radio, and make it modular radio compartment. I don't know, but the very least, I got this out here so I can work on this thing. And I got my tools are right here. So there's not going to be any more running and jumping and through and back every time it's there. Right here, fix it, boom. Whew. But there's Sheepy. You can see where I've gone and tacked, or not really tacked, just really small beads everywhere. This is all done. I got that curved the best I can. I think that's great. Yeah, it's difficult to even breathe out here today. It's pretty crazy. You guys who work outside for a living, as I've stated, I worked outside for a living for 14 years. I know as you grow older, the heat treats your body differently, but for you guys out there working, I don't understand how you do it. But I will see you guys next time.